frozen heart of Siberia, one predator has always reigned supreme: the Amur Tiger. A solitary monarch, it's the largest and most powerful cat on Earth. Its authority is total, a primal fear hardwired into every creature that shares its forest. But when the desperation of a brutal winter kicks in, when the cold seeps deep into your bones and the gnawing ache of hunger becomes a constant torment, even kings can be challenged. This is the story of what happens when that king, a 600-pound ghost of the forest, comes face to face with the only animal that would dare to hunt it: a hungry, intelligent, and desperate pack of Siberian wolves. This isn't just a clash of strength. It's a war of strategy, pitting the tiger's raw power against the wolf pack's collective genius. It's a fight for the throne of the forest itself. So, what really happens when these two apex predators are pushed to their absolute limit? The legends tell of epic battles, of a war for the crown fought in the blood-stained snow. But the science often tells a different, more complex, and maybe even more fascinating story. In this deep dive, we're going to dissect every aspect of this monumental conflict. We'll analyze the combatants piece by piece, from their physical power to their strategic brilliance. We'll explore the unforgiving battlefield that shapes their every move, an environment that is itself a weapon. And by the end, through scientific accounts, historical records, and a play-by-play of their tactics, we will answer the one question at the heart of this saga: who is the true ruler of the Siberian taiga? Before we can crown a king, we have to understand the monarch. We're about to break down the terrifying power of the Amur Tiger, an animal that feels more like a myth than reality. While we do, take a second to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss the moment these two titans finally collide. And if you're ready for the clash, show some support and like this video. To understand this conflict, you first have to understand the king. The Amur Tiger, which you might know by its old name, the Siberian tiger, is a creature that feels more like a myth than reality. It is the physical embodiment of power, a masterpiece of evolution designed for a single purpose: to kill. This is the world's largest cat, a predator stretching over 11 feet from nose to tail, which is longer than a lot of cars. While old stories tell of giants hitting 800 pounds, today's wild males are scientifically verified to top out at around 660 pounds, about 300 kilograms. To put that into perspective, this is a cat that weighs as much as 4 grown men, a solid mass of muscle far heavier than its southern cousins. Its paws, as big as dinner plates, are armed with 4-inch retractable claws that are razor sharp. These aren't just weapons, they're multi-tools for survival, used to grip prey, climb icy slopes, and leave deep territorial gashes in trees as a clear declaration of ownership. Its jaws are a biological vice, capable of generating a bite force of over 1,000 pounds per square inch, PSI, a pressure designed to drive its massive 3-inch canines through thick hide and shatter a spinal cord in one single decisive moment. But the tiger's lethality isn't just about raw power. It's a phantom of the taiga, relying on supernatural stealth and explosive ambushes. Its coat, which is paler than other tigers, provides perfect camouflage in the snow-dusted forests of the Sikhote-Alin mountains, its main home. This unique coat is paired with a thick layer of fat, insulating it from cold that can drop to minus 40 degrees, a temperature where exposed skin freezes in minutes. This is an animal that can move its immense frame with eerie silence, using wide, fur-covered paws that act like snowshoes to stalk its prey for hours. The attack itself is an act of shocking, primal violence. After patiently stalking its target, a tiger can launch its body, in a 20-foot leap, crashing into its prey with the force of a small car. The kill is brutally efficient, usually a single, precise bite to the throat to suffocate the animal, or one catastrophic bite to the back of the neck that shatters vertebrae instantly. The tiger's life is one of deep isolation. A single male will patrol a massive territory that can stretch up to 770 square miles, 2,000 square kilometers, an area bigger than the City of London, meticulously marked with scent and claw marks. This is a solitary existence, dictated by a relentless cycle of feast or famine. A tiger's appetite is colossal. After a big kill, it can eat up to 60 pounds of meat in one sitting before dragging the carcass, which can be so heavy it would take 5 men to move, into dense cover to hide it from scavengers. The animals that sustain this giant are the largest in the taiga: red deer and wild boar. For most of the year, the Amur tiger is the undisputed ruler. The scent of a tiger alone is enough to send other predators scattering. It is an apex predator that seems to have no natural enemies. And yet, this monarch is not entirely alone. There is another power in the taiga, a different kind of hunter, one that relies not on singular might, but on the unbreakable bond of the pack. We understand the king now, but to understand the war, we have to understand the rebels who would dare challenge his reign. In our next section, we'll dive into the chillingly intelligent world of the Siberian wolf pack and their unique style of warfare. Before we go tracking them down, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss a single one of our expeditions into the wild. And if you're enjoying this clash of titans, show your support by hitting that like button. And then you have the challengers. The Siberian wolf is a creature forged from the same harsh elements as the tiger, but it evolved a completely different solution for survival. If the tiger is a study in solitary power, the wolf is proof of the strength in numbers. These aren't the largest wolves in the world, but they are among the most resilient and strategically brilliant. An individual wolf is no match for a tiger, but a wolf is never truly alone. Its greatest weapon is the pack. A Siberian wolf pack is more than just a group of animals. It's a family, a complex social machine bound by a strict hierarchy and a system of communication so intricate that scientists are still trying to crack the code. It operates like a single thinking entity, capable of coordination that feels like genius. At the top sits the alpha pair, the leaders who are often the only ones to reproduce, making sure their experienced genes are passed on. Below them are the other members of the family, and each one has a role. Through a subtle language of body posture, quick glances, and a symphony of howls that echo through the valleys, they act as one unit. Their hunting strategy is the polar opposite of the tiger's ambush. Wolves are the marathon runners of the carnivore world. Their long legs and lean bodies are built for the chase, letting them pursue prey for miles over grueling terrain. As we've seen in documentaries from places like the BBC, they use the environment with chilling intelligence, driving prey into deep snow where heavier animals get stuck, or cornering them against cliffs and frozen rivers. The hunt is a brilliantly coordinated effort. They test their prey, probing a herd to find the weakest one, the old, the sick, or the young. Once a target is selected, the pack works relentlessly to isolate it. Their method is a war of 1,000 cuts. Knowing a single kick from an elk or a boar's tusk could be fatal, they don't go for a quick takedown. Instead, they attack from the sides and rear, a whirlwind of gray fur delivering a series of debilitating bites meant to weaken and slow the animal down. They don't look for a single clean kill. They look to wear their opponent down, to exhaust its strength and make it bleed until it just can't fight back anymore. This is the power of the wolf pack: relentless stamina, strategic intelligence, and the overwhelming force of numbers. And when hunger gets desperate enough, the scent of a tiger's prize can become a temptation that's too strong to resist. It's in these moments that the pack might dare to do the unthinkable, challenge the king for his kill. A solitary king of muscle and claw, a unified horde of teeth and stamina. But these predators don't fight in a vacuum. Their conflict is defined by the very ground they walk on. Next, we journey into the arena itself, the brutal Siberian wilderness, a battlefield that both helps and hurts these hunters in surprising ways. Stick with us by making sure you're subscribed with that notification bell on. If you find the strategies of these predators as fascinating as we do, please hit that like button. The arena for this epic showdown is as much a character as the predators themselves. The Siberian Taiga is a land of extremes, a patchwork of dense forests and rugged mountain ranges like the Sikhote-Alin. This is a land defined by brutal, endless winters where the world is covered in thick snow for more than half the year. This environment isn't just a backdrop, it's an active player in the fight for survival. For the Amur Tiger, the forest is its castle. The dense undergrowth and the play of light and shadow are crucial for its ambush style. The tiger uses the terrain like a master, its striped coat making it nearly invisible as it stalks. It moves with a ghostly silence, its huge, fur-lined paws spreading its weight and muffling its steps on the frozen ground, working almost like snowshoes. In these conditions, the tiger is the master of the unseen attack, a sudden explosion of violence from the shadows. However, the very snow that defines Siberia can become the tiger's worst enemy. A light dusting is great. It muffles sound and preserves tracks. But as winter gets deeper, heavy snow becomes a suffocating burden. For a creature weighing over 600 pounds, pushing through deep, soft snow is a massive drain on energy. Every step takes a huge amount of power. It's like a person trying to sprint through waist-deep water. The deep drifts drain its stamina, making it far more vulnerable and turning every single hunt into a costly gamble. For the wolf pack, the snow is often a powerful weapon. Wolves are much lighter, with broad paws that let them move way more efficiently across deep drifts. They have learned to use the snow against their prey. A pack will often deliberately drive heavier animals into deep pockets of snow where they get bogged down and are easy to surround. While the tiger finds its movement restricted, the wolves can flow over the snow with an efficiency the big cat just can't match. Their greatest asset, endurance, is amplified by the winter landscape. The sheer size of the territory also plays a huge role. Prey is spread out, forcing predators to patrol enormous areas. For the solitary tiger, this means long, difficult journeys between kills. For the wolf pack, this same vastness allows them to cover more ground together. They can spread out, searching a wide area, their howls echoing across frozen valleys, a long-distance communication system to coordinate their search. This brutal, beautiful, and unforgiving wilderness sets the rules of engagement, and a lot of the time, it decides the winner before the fight even starts. The stage is set, we have our combatants. But why would these two predators, both at the very top of the food chain, ever actually fight? The answer is a primal motivation that can make any creature brave, foolish, or both. In the next section, we'll uncover the seeds of this conflict. You're not going to want to miss this. If you haven't already, now is the perfect time to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you can follow this story to its brutal end. In a wilderness as vast as Siberia, you'd think two top predators could just stay out of each other's way. And for most of the year, that's exactly what happens. The relationship isn't one of equals. It's a clear and brutal hierarchy. Scientific studies from organizations like the Wildlife Conservation Society have shown without a doubt that tigers actively suppress wolf populations in a phenomenon known as competitive exclusion. Where tigers thrive, wolf numbers drop. The big cats are known to hunt and kill wolves, not necessarily for food, but to eliminate the competition. There are multiple records from Russian biologists of tigers killing wolves and leaving the carcasses uneaten, a cold, clear message of absolute dominance. The wolves understand this power dynamic on an instinctual level. Their entire survival is built on respecting the tiger's authority. They know that a direct confrontation with a healthy adult tiger is basically suicide. So why would they ever risk a clash like that? The answer can be summed up in one powerful primal word: desperation. The Siberian winter is relentless. As the season drags on, the fight to survive gets more and more intense. Prey becomes harder to find and harder to kill. For a wolf pack, a string of bad hunts isn't just a setback, it's a death sentence. As the pack gets weaker from hunger, the cold, hard math of risk versus reward starts to change. The fear of the tiger is huge, but the certainty of starvation is absolute. This is when the scent of a fresh kill becomes a siren song they can't ignore. If a lone tiger has brought down a large animal, that carcass represents a life-saving stash of hundreds of pounds of food. To a starving pack, that prize isn't just a meal, it's their only shot at surviving to see the spring. The conflict, then, is almost never started by the tiger. The clash is born from the wolves' gnawing hunger. They'll approach a tiger's kill with extreme caution, every instinct screaming at them to run, but their empty bellies will keep pushing them forward. It's a high-stakes gamble for the ultimate prize. In most cases, a single warning roar is enough to send them running. But when the pack is large enough, experienced enough, and most importantly, desperate enough, they just might decide the reward is finally worth the ultimate risk. Power versus numbers. Ambush versus endurance. Solitary might versus collective genius. It's time to put these two predators head-to-head in a detailed breakdown. We're about to analyze every weapon, every strength, and every weakness in the tail of the tape. To make sure you get a ringside seat for this analysis, hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications, and let us know you're here for the fight by liking the video. Before they clash, let's break down the attributes of these two ultimate predators. Out here, every advantage matters, and any weakness can get you killed. This is the tale of the tape. Size and strength. There is no contest here. The Amur Tiger is in a whole other league. A large male can weigh over 600 pounds, a creature of pure, dense muscle. A single swipe from its forelimb carries enough force to shatter a wolf's spine or crush its skull. A Siberian wolf, by comparison, weighs between 80 to 150 pounds. Even a large 15-member pack would have a hard time matching the sheer mass of one big tiger. It's a fight between a heavyweight boxer and a team of middleweights. Advantage: tiger, overwhelmingly. Weaponry: both are seriously armed, but for very different kinds of combat. The tiger's main weapons are its 4-inch claws and 3-inch canine teeth, backed by a 1,000 psi bite force built for a single, killing blow. The wolf's main weapon is its bite, multiplied by the strength of the pack. Their jaws, while strong, are made for gripping and tearing. Their tactic is to inflict dozens of deep, bleeding wounds from all angles. The tiger is armed like an executioner. The wolves are armed like assassins, equipped for a war of attrition. Advantage: tiger, for a one-on-one kill shot. Wolves, for a sustained multi-angle attack. Speed and stamina. Here, their strategies are completely different. The tiger is a sprinter, a master of the ambush who can hit speeds up to 40 miles per hour in short, terrifying bursts. But it can't keep that pace up. The wolf is a marathon runner. It can also hit speeds around 35 to 40 miles per hour. But the crucial difference is that it can hold a steady lope for miles, sometimes covering over 35 miles, 60 kilometers, in a single night. The pack's greatest physical weapon is its shared stamina, built to wear opponents down over time. Advantage: tiger, speed/acceleration; wolves, stamina/endurance; intelligence and strategy. This is the most fascinating part of the matchup. The tiger has the cunning patience of a master solo hunter, an expert at using its environment for the perfect ambush. Its intelligence is singular and focused. The wolf pack shows off a different kind of smarts, collective and communicative. As seen in documentaries from sources like the BBC, their ability to coordinate with subtle signals during a high-speed chase is incredible, using complex strategies like herding and flanking. Their intelligence is fluid and decentralized. The group is far smarter and more adaptable than any single wolf within it. Advantage: a tie. The tiger is a master tactician. The wolf pack is a master of coordinated strategy. This is a clash of total opposites. The tiger brings overwhelming power to get a swift victory. The wolves bring endurance and numbers for a long, agonizing war. The winner will be whichever predator can force the fight to happen on its own terms. The analysis is over. The time for talk is done. Now, the clash begins. In the next section, we'll witness a play-by-play of what happens when the irresistible force of a starving wolf pack meets the immovable object of a Siberian tiger. This is the moment you've been waiting for. If you're not subscribed, do it now and hit the bell, because the battle is about to start. Show your anticipation by hitting the like button. The air is so cold it burns the lungs. A large male Amur Tiger, magnificent in his prime, stands over his recent kill, a full-grown red deer. It was an exhausting hunt in deep snow, but he's won a prize that will feed him for a week. He drags the carcass into a thicket and eats his fill, the sound of tearing flesh the only noise in the quiet forest. He is the king, and this is his kingdom. Miles away, the scent of blood drifts on the biting wind. It reaches a 14-member wolf pack, their bodies gaunt from hunger. It's been 5 days since their last real meal. The scent of the deer is a beacon of hope, but it's mixed with another smell they all know to fear, the sharp, musky scent of a tiger. A quiet, tense council passes through the pack. The risk is enormous, but the alternative is a slow, freezing starvation. The decision is made. Led by the alpha pair, they move like gray ghosts through the trees. They find the tiger at dusk, fanning out in a loose semicircle, their yellow eyes glowing like coals in the fading light. The tiger lifts his massive head, a low, deep growl rumbling in his chest. It's a sound like distant thunder, a clear warning. This is mine. Leave or die. The world holds its breath. The tiger rises to his full height and lets out a huge roar that rips through the air. Usually this would be the end of it, but not this time. Hunger has made them brave. The alpha female makes the first move, a feint, a quick dash forward and back just to see how the tiger reacts. The tiger doesn't just charge, he explodes. In a shocking blur of orange and black, he smashes into the pack's line. His instinct is to isolate one and kill it. A young, inexperienced wolf on the flank is too slow. The tiger's paw connects with a sickening crunch of bone. The wolf is thrown through the air, its spine shattered. The pack recoils but doesn't run. The first death is the price of admission. Now, their ancient strategy kicks in. Two wolves rush in from the right, snapping at his hind legs. The tiger spins, impossibly fast for his size, his claws digging deep furrows in the snow where they just stood. As he turns, three more attack from the left. It's a relentless, coordinated dance of death. Their goal isn't to win a physical fight, but to keep the tiger moving, to make him bleed his explosive energy in the deep snow. He is a whirlwind of lethal fury, and every time he connects, a wolf is badly injured or killed. But for every wolf he strikes down, two more are at his back. The battle rages. The white snow is churned into a red slush. The tiger is now bleeding from a dozen shallow wounds. None of them are fatal, but all of them are draining his strength. The deep snow has become a swamp. He's slowing down, his movements getting heavier, his roars tinged with exhaustion. The wolves sense it. Their attacks get bolder. The tiger knows he's in trouble. With a tremendous, desperate roar, he focuses all his remaining power on the clear leader, the alpha male. Ignoring the smaller wolves, he launches himself in one last, all-or-nothing charge. The alpha, maybe overconfident, stands his ground a fatal second too long. The tiger's jaws find their mark, closing around the wolf's neck with crushing finality. But the gamble has cost the tiger everything. While his attention was fixed, the remaining wolves surged in as one. They clamped down on his hind legs, his back, his flanks, their combined weight and relentless biting, finally doing what seemed impossible, pulling the giant down. The tiger, his energy gone, his body racked with pain and blood loss, stumbles. He's fighting for his life now, shaking wolves off, but for everyone he throws aside, another takes its place. Slowly, agonizingly. Under the cold Siberian moon, the great king is pulled from his throne. The battle is over. The snow is stained red. But is this dramatic scene the reality? In the cold, hard light of day, who truly reigns supreme? In our final section, we look past the legend and into the science to declare the true ruler of Siberia. To see the final verdict, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And let us know what you thought of that battle by hitting the like button. The scenario we just described, while dramatic, represents the absolute razor's edge of what's possible. It's the stuff of campfire legends. But scientific reality paints a much clearer and far more one-sided picture. So, who truly reigns supreme in the Siberian taiga? After decades of research from Russian and international scientists, the evidence is overwhelming, and the answer is clear. The Amur Tiger. The dynamic between these two is a classic case of top-down suppression. Multiple long-term studies have documented that where tiger populations are healthy, wolf populations plummet or vanish completely. Russian conservationists have even argued that tigers are far more effective at controlling wolf numbers than human hunters are, which in turn helps balance the entire ecosystem. In short, tigers are the forest's ultimate regulators. Why is the tiger so dominant? It comes down to a simple imbalance of power. Even when facing a pack, the tiger's sheer size and thick hide mean its defense is just as impressive as its offense. A wolf's bite has a hard time inflicting a truly crippling wound, while every single strike from the tiger is potentially lethal to a wolf. A single swipe can crush a ribcage or break a spine. A wolf pack has to keep up a perfectly coordinated long-term attack while constantly avoiding instant death. It's a fight where they can't make a single mistake, while the tiger can afford to make several. There are recorded cases of wolves attacking tigers, usually over a kill, but verified accounts of a pack successfully killing a healthy adult Amur tiger are basically non-existent in the scientific literature. What is documented, however, are numerous cases where tigers have fought off large packs, often killing several wolves before the rest are forced to retreat, their morale completely broken. The wolves' only real chance is to exhaust a tiger, but a healthy tiger has more than enough power to cripple the pack's numbers and break its will to fight long before exhaustion even becomes a factor. The verdict is clear. While a very large, very desperate wolf pack might, under a perfect storm of conditions, pose a threat, it is an extreme outlier. In the vast majority of encounters, the tiger is the undisputed ruler. The wolf's best strategy is, and always will be, to stay out of the tiger's way at all costs. The war for the Siberian throne is, in reality, no war at all. The throne is already taken, and the king does not tolerate challengers. The tiger may rule the wolves, but its reign isn't entirely unchallenged. There is another giant in these forests, a creature that doesn't fear the striped king and will gladly challenge it for a meal. Next, we explore the tiger's complex and violent relationship with the other titans of the taiga, the bears. To see how a tiger fares against an Ussuri brown bear, make sure you've subscribed and hit the bell. This is a rivalry you won't want to miss. Show your support by liking the video. The fight between tiger and wolf is just one front in a wider war for survival. The Amur Tiger's relationship with the region's bears is maybe the most dynamic and violent of all. The Sikhote-Alin mountains are home to two powerful bear species, the massive Ussuri brown bear, a relative of the grizzly, and the smaller Asiatic black bear. The tiger sees both as competition and sometimes as prey. According to studies of tiger scat, bears are a small but consistent part of their diet. Tigers often use cunning tactics, like targeting bears during hibernation by attacking them when they're vulnerable in their dens. But this is far from a one-sided fight. Large male Ussuri brown bears, which can rival or even outweigh a big male tiger, are one of the few creatures that don't fear the striped king. A brown bear will often use its incredible sense of smell to track a tiger to its kill, with every intention of bullying the cat and stealing the carcass. It's a behavior known as kleptoparasitism. In some areas, studies show that bears succeed in stealing kills in up to 35% of these confrontations. This is a huge loss of calories for the tiger, forcing it to hunt more often. These confrontations are tense, brutal affairs. In documented fights between tigers and brown bears, the outcome is shockingly unpredictable. While tigers won about half of the fatal encounters, bears killed tigers in over a quarter of them, with the rest ending in a draw where both animals survived. This creates a shifting balance of power where the roles of predator and prey can switch in an instant, depending on the size, health, and sheer grit of the individuals involved. The tiger's dominance also affects smaller predators. The critically endangered Amur leopard is often pushed into fringe territories just to avoid its larger cousin. Tigers have been documented killing both Amur leopards and Eurasian lynx, another cat competing for resources. In this way, the Amur tiger acts as the ultimate regulator of its ecosystem. By keeping wolf populations in check, fighting a bloody war with bears, and displacing smaller cats, the tiger shapes the entire predator hierarchy, making it a vital keystone species. The tiger's kingdom, while absolute, is more fragile than ever. The greatest threats to these magnificent animals aren't other predators, but human activities. Illegal poaching, habitat loss from logging and development, and a decline in their prey are pushing them to the brink. But there is hope, and there are ways for all of us to be part of the solution. First, you can support the Guardians on the front lines. Organizations like the Wildcats Conservation Alliance, the Amur Tiger Center, and the Phoenix Fund are on the ground in the Russian Far East. They work with local communities, run anti-poaching patrols, rescue orphaned cubs, and use tech like camera traps and AI to monitor and protect these animals. Donating to these reputable organizations sends direct financial support to their critical work. Second, be a conscious consumer. Much of the tiger's habitat is threatened by illegal logging. When you're buying wood or paper products, look for the Forest Stewardship Council (FSC) label. This ensures the materials come from responsibly managed forests, helping to protect the ecosystems that tigers and their prey need to survive. Third, spread awareness. The more people who understand the threats facing Amur tigers and why their survival is so important, the greater the collective pressure to protect them. Share this video, talk to your friends and family, and advocate for stronger protections against poaching and the illegal wildlife trade. Every voice adds to a chorus that can create real change. The future of the Siberian taiga's true king depends not just on its own strength, but on our willingness to defend its throne. In the silent, frozen theater of the Siberian taiga, the drama of survival is absolute. We've seen the clash of two magnificent predators, the Amur tiger, a monument of solitary power, and the Siberian wolf pack, a collective intelligence built on endurance. While the legend of a desperate pack bringing down a mighty tiger is a powerful story, the reality is a testament to the raw physics of power. The Amur tiger is the true apex predator of its domain. The science from groups like the IUCN and WWF is clear. Tigers dominate wolves. The wolf survives not by challenging the king, but by being smart enough to stay out of his way. The tiger's reign, however, is more fragile than it seems. Its greatest threat isn't another predator, but the ever-expanding footprint of humanity. Habitat loss and poaching are the true dangers. Conservation has been a massive success story here. After dropping to fewer than 50 individuals back in the 1940s, the population rebounded thanks to dedicated protection. Still, the species is listed as endangered, and its future is far from certain, resting in the hands of dedicated rangers and scientists on the ground. The story of the tiger and the wolf is a profound look into the brutal and beautiful balance of the natural world. But now we turn the question to you. The science is clear, but the legend is powerful. In that 1-in-a-million scenario, a large, starving wolf pack against a single powerful tiger, who do you think really wins? Let us know your verdict in the comments below. If you want to explore more epic showdowns and incredible stories of survival from the wild, browse our channel for more videos just like this one. We've picked out another clash of titans for you to watch right here. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to join us on our next expedition. Thanks for watching.